Welcome to Drum Corps Central, a podcast. I am a 13-year-old drum corps superfan who loves all forms of the marching arts. Thanks for watching the podcast today. There will be an almost daily episode of this podcast recapping the previous night's drum corps scores and looking ahead. Today is Friday, July 20th, 2018. Last night, 2 shows, both unscored, no uniforms, exhibitions due to the heat down in Texas. Today, 2 shows, one in California, one in Texas. Hopefully those don't get interfered with because of the heat. I'll break down those 2 shows as well as a look at the DCI World Class and DCI Open Class leaderboards going into this Friday. Thank you for watching Drum Corps Central, a podcast today. So first up, let's take a look at the DCI World Class Leaderboard for July 20th, 2018. So no action since back on Tuesday night in Broken Arrow. So Wednesday night there were no shows. Last night, 2 shows, Belton and Denton, were both exhibitions due to the heat in Texas. So that means tonight, as long as the Katy show isn't canceled, I'll take a look at the weather in just a little bit when we talk about that show. But as long as that one doesn't get canceled, we'll have scores tonight, and it's a pretty good show. You see Vanguard, Blue Devils, Bluecoats, Crown, and Cavaliers, so the top 5 are all in Katy. Then you've got Blue Knights, Cadets, Phantoms, so 8 of the top 9 are there, and then you even add the Crossmen there, and you get 9 of the top 12. So a very good show tonight in Katy. You see how the rest of it all plays out. Of course, tomorrow in San Antonio, our first big look at how these scores all place on a scale of all 24 being at the same show. Definitely a big showdown come tomorrow. Second, let's take a look at the DCI Open Class leaderboards for July 20th, 2018. So, leaderboard on the left, including all corps, no matter if they go to championships or not. Leaderboard on the right, excluding corps that will not be at championships, for a more specific look at how the corps are placing on the scale of the 16 corps that will be going to Michigan City. On both leaderboards, top 5, Vanguard, Cadets, Blue Devils B, Guardians, Louisiana Stars, Gold. I saw Guardians last night in Belton on the Flow Marching stream. They're actually one of the only ones I watched because of just, without the uniforms and without the judging, kind of takes like the oomph out of it. But the Guardians, good show, definitely better than last year, definitely a top 5 open class corps. I think the Spartans might give them a run for their money among other corps that haven't had a show in a few weeks. Legends might be able to. There are a lot of corps that might. There's a little bit that needs to be worked on in that show, definitely, to make sure that they can compete with Vanguard Cadets and Blue Devils B, who are going to be just awesome come Michigan City, and so are many of these other corps. I think they've got what it takes. I think they've got the talent. I think they're I think the show design's just a little too tough for them. But I think that if they work everything out, and that show is way better than it was last night, which it will be because there's like 3 weeks between now and then, I think they are a legitimate shot for the championship. And if not that, definitely a medalist spot. You see the corps in Bakersfield tonight. On the right side here, Vanguard Cadets, Blue Devils B, Golden Empire, and Impulse all being in Bakersfield tonight. We'll get a look at where they are. Speaking of tonight's shows, let's take a look at tonight's shows for Friday, July 20th, 2018. So, first up tonight, Bakersfield, California. All-time specific here. Follow along, 7 o'clock, Welcome to National Anthem, 7:10, Vessel, 7:25, Blue Devils C, 7:40, Incognito, 7:55, Watchmen, 8:10, The Battalion, 8:25, there'll be a 20-minute intermission, 8:45, Impulse, 9 o'clock, Gold, 9:15, Vanguard Cadets, 9:30, Blue Devils B, and 9:45, Golden Empire. 10:10 scores will be announced. What to watch for here? Blue Devils B and Vanguard Cadets, of course, they'll be going head-to-head. Vanguard Cadets grew a little on Blue Devils B in their last head-to-head last weekend. So how will those two do before they go on their nationwide tour next week? That'll be something interesting. Has Blue Devils B added and gained, or will Vanguard Cadets continue to pull away? Gold, I think, is solidly here in third with these scores, but I think one of the biggest things to watch here tonight is the Battalion. They have not gone against these scores at all since they have started existing a few years ago. They have done the tour up until Denver, and then they've finished. They're done. Now, this year, they've expanded their tour schedule. So usually the two corps would be Columbians and Battalion on that Pacific Northwest tour, and then would come down to Denver and everything. Columbians ended their tour. The Battalion continue on. They have this show tonight. I believe they have a show tomorrow night in California, and then they finish up with one or two shows this upcoming week. Home shows I think one's in Utah and one's in Denver. So they've had a really good year in terms of scores, and their recap numbers are on fire. I think if they could potentially defeat Gold, I think that would be a great almost ending to their season for them to know we are really good. We just defeated a consistent open class finalist, so not only would we probably be an open class finalist if we go to Michigan City in the future, but we might be a contender for a medalist or a championship spot. I think that's something big to watch for with the Battalion here tonight. I think Golden Empire might be their biggest challenge. I don't know if they can get up with Gold, but I think they can definitely contend with Golden Empire. See some of the other corps here. Impulse, Watchmen, Incognito, Impulse, Watchmen, and Vessel have all been close, and Blue Devils C and Incognito would be the big matchup. So, as I said yesterday, if you think of these shows that are kind of weak, don't have the strongest cores in them, as just football games between two, 4 and 6 teams, it really kind of helps me at least think of it in a way of how this is not a bad show. They might not be the best of cores, but the amount of battles in here, I just listed 4 or 5 right there, that could all happen tonight. A lot to watch for here in Bakersfield tonight. A few notes for this one. It's at Bakersfield College, Bakersfield, California. Golden Empire's home show. They are from Bakersfield. They're actually a program of Bakersfield College. Weather tonight, very hot, but as the California weather has been all season long, and as most seasons, not that bad compared to what they're dealing with in Texas. 98 at show start. Look at DCI's Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media pages today, just to make sure that this one's not delayed. So if you're looking for scores tonight, or even going to this one, that you know that might be pushed back 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, to make sure that the heat isn't too much. But as it stands right now, this is what it looks like. 7 to 10, about 4-hour show. Gets down pretty cool, 89 compared to that 98 number at the end of the show. So looks like a good night for some California drum corps. Next up, the second and last show tonight, Katy Texas, Tour of Champions Texas, presented by Band Shop, another uniform sponsor. We had Stanberry uniforms last night. We have Band Shop tonight. But the little bit of an interesting thing with this one is Band Shop I think they sponsor 2 DCI corps. I'm not definite on that, but they sponsor Boston Crusaders and 7th Regiment, I believe, are the 2, and the Boston Crusaders aren't at this show, so it's kind of a unique setting for this one. Here's the lineup, all-time Central Time, no delays as of now. I'm checking just now, but no delays or any changes that I'm seeing so far for this one. What to watch for here? We get Blue Devils, Vanguard, Bluecoats once again. We get Crown versus the Cavaliers without the Boston Crusaders as a factor in this one. We get the Blue Knights, Cadets, Phantom all together, and then I don't know where the Crossmen will be. I think tomorrow night is a bigger night for them. Home show in San Antonio, and I think that'll give them a lot of momentum. They have to do something score-wise. I think it's a fine show from a fan's perspective, but they have to do something to gain points, because right now where the Crossmen are, they are 12th right now based on most recent score on the leaderboard, but tomorrow night when they go all head-to-head, who knows where they will be against Academy, Spirit, Madison, etc. So if I'm the Crossmen right now, and the design team, I definitely got to be thinking, what are we going to do that is really going to help us and make sure we secure another spot in DCI finals this year. A few notes for this one. Tour of Champions Texas at Legacy Stadium in Katy, Texas. A bigger stadium, but as most Texas high school stadiums are. Another longer show, about 4 hours, hot at the start. This one, also another one. Just make sure you're checking out DCI's social media pages throughout the day, making sure this one, if it gets pushed back at all time-wise, that you are aware of it. 7 o'clock, 95 degrees, 8 o'clock, 91, then clear skies as the night goes on. There is an air quality alert in effect in Katy today. Not that that might impact any of the action on the field for these corps. Just a little note, just in case DCI could take that into consideration for any means, even if it meant pushing back the show or delaying the show or canceling it or whatever. But that's what it looks like for Katy tonight. Now, just a few things before I end here today. Make sure to check out drumcorpscentral.weebly.com for all your latest updates from the DCI and DCA summer tours. Scores, schedules, leaderboards, and more can all be found on my own personal website about all things drum corps, drumcorpscentral.weebly.com. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at drumcorpsgeek, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Drum Corps Central, where this podcast and more will be posted as the summer tours go along. Thank you for watching here today. I'll be back tomorrow with a look at the first regional of the 2018 summer tour, where we have all 24 world-class corps going head-to-head in the same venue, same show, same day of 2018. And a look at the other show tomorrow in California that is like the Bakersfield show tonight, but in a different venue. Thank you for watching here today. Good luck to all performers and corps tonight. Have a great rest of your day.